My first goal when I decided to be a professional, it's to become like the best horsewoman I can be. It's really important for me to find the balance with my family, with the horses, that is my passion. Work with the horses every day to do what I love. I used to have like one passion was the horses, and now I have two with my daughter. So I really want to have this balance in my life. I'm Marie Ecart, I'm a professional show jumper representing France, and I'm Lola's mom. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
The cowboy hustle is physically demanding. No doubt you gotta be tough. But even more important is your mental fitness. Your brain has to be firing on all cylinders to perform, to be clear, to concentrate, and to focus. I'm a father, a cowboy, a businessman, and a musician, and so much more. I drink BrainJuice House Brew, packed with the brain power blend of essential vitamins and minerals my brain needs every day to get it done. Low in natural sugar, low in calories, low in carbohydrates, and low in sodium. It's a great natural and healthy alternative to energy drinks. BrainJuice. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
I share my life with them. I think we're lucky that we get to do what we do, and I've never looked at it as a sacrifice.
For me, being on a horse is the one place I can truly be myself.
They do have a language, you just have to learn how to speak it.
Remember that they feed off of our energies, and so if you're in a good mood or you're happy, they'll reflect that back.
You meet people from all over the world. You have friends that share the same passion for horses, and I think that's something very special.
Horses is the only constant thing in my life, and it will always be there when I need it.
For me, it's connection.
They make me who I am.
It's very hard to explain. It's magical.
It's just who we are.
In one word, it's freedom.
For me, it's everything.
All right, hello and welcome everyone to the $50,000 BrainJuice U25 Series Finale Grand Prix for week 10 here at Wellington International for the Winter Equestrian Festival. Very exciting day for our U25 riders. Of course, I'm your host, Danny Waldman, and I'm thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. In the booth with me is Ashley Vogel and Donovan Ross. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thrilled to have you guys here. All right, you took a look at the course. Tell us, what does it look like out there?
I think it's a good course. It asks some questions. I wonder if time's going to be tight. I think it's interesting how the water is towards the gate, and then there's the double verticals after. I think that might be tricky for a few, and it ends on a very short line to jump 12, so it will be really interesting to see how this goes. There's a lot of great horse and rider combinations today.
Yeah, it looks really strong out there. I think, honestly, I think the jumps look quite big. And like we've seen all week long on these courses, a lot of things open in the beginning, right? And then much shorter at the end.
Right, yes. That's been a trend throughout the week.
And of course, we do have the open water out there, which is always challenging for the U25 riders. As I'm sure you guys know, you guys don't get to see them so much, do you?
Yeah, not so much, but I think it's great experience and exposure to have this open water, especially at the end of the under 25 series, because they start off on the grass and then they have the team event, and it kind of gradually builds up to this 150 final. It's great experience for these riders to learn how to jump the open water on their horses, and it's definitely tricky for a few because we don't have it all the time. A lot of times in the equitation, and you'll see them in Nations Cups and things, and bigger Grand Prix. So it's really great to see some of these up-and-coming riders be able to jump this.
Absolutely. And during the semifinal, there was definitely lots of challenges at the open water and the line after it. Here, it's a double verticals after that open water. So that's always very, very difficult and delicate. All right, well, it is a warm and sunny day here in Wellington, Florida, and we are getting very ready to start this, I think, a couple of minutes out, about 3 minutes before our first horse on course. Let's take a look at the standings at the moment. And actually, I think this might be our start list. There we go. There's our series standings. Francis Derwin of Ireland is sitting first. Ansgar Holters Jr. in second. Of course, Ansgar not only jumping these U25s, but he won the 3-star Grand Prix, the high-level 3-star a couple of weeks ago. So he has a lot of experience. And then we've got third, Nicole Velasco Magana is in third. Fourth, Hallie Grimes. Fifth to Tom Watchman, who won one of the earlier phases of this series. And Lola Head coming in at sixth on the standing. Mia Bagnato in seventh. William Martin for Canada in eighth. Stephanie Garrett in 9th, Maggie Jacobs in 10th, Virginia Bonney in 11th, and Nina Malave of France sitting in 12th at the moment. We're going to see 29 horse rider combinations today, and it is absolutely going to be a fun day of show jumping. We've got US, Canada, Mexico, Ireland, UK, and France all represented. And a couple of big-time riders, like we mentioned. Caroline Malwany, also who won our semifinal. She'll be coming up soon. We were just chatting, looking at the start list. And you guys thought that if she could jump clear, she maybe had a good chance. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a very quick horse. I think if she could keep the rails up, it's her class to win.
I would agree with that. She jumped wonderfully in that semifinal. Yeah. Very, very fast horse. So we'll see. You know, we were looking at this course out here. Do we think that there's an inside turn from number 15 back to the double verticals in the jump off? Do we think we can go inside the net jets?
I think you'll definitely see some people try to do that. It's definitely going to be a harder turn. But to win, I think you'll definitely see the winner do that.
Absolutely. And of course, thank you so much to our sponsors today. BrainJuice is the sponsor of this U25 series and our finale Grand Prix today. And of course, our sponsor of the live stream, Dodd Technologies, presenting our live stream all season long here. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit them online at DotTechnologies.com. And today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. So, just about getting ready. Last riders are out there walking the course, making their way out, and horses are warming up. It is a little bit toasty out there. It is sort of the heat of the day and the peak heat of the day. So I think stamina might play a role with this. And how do you think your horses have been handling the humidity the last couple of weeks here? It's gotten a lot more humid the last 10 days.
Yeah, it's made quite a difference, especially since it was so cold early on in circuit, and then we had a bit of rain, and
we had a lot of rain.
Yeah, a lot of rain, and now it's getting quite warm. So, but they've been jumping all of circuit, so they're definitely conditioned well, and they're all strong enough. So
they're ready.
Yeah, they're ready.
And this series is wonderful because you guys get to jump out on the grass, in the small sand ring, in the big sand ring, under the lights. It's really a varied series. Do you think that gives you guys a lot of experience? Do you like that it changes venue?
Yeah, so I actually think the under 25 series is probably one of my favorite classes to compete at and in Wellington, just because not only is it so competitive, it has great horse and rider combinations, but as well for up-and-coming horses and up-and-coming riders that are just stepping out of like the high amateurs and the high juniors and want to start jumping some tougher tracks. It definitely gives them a lot of experience and exposure. We got to jump on the grass. We've got to jump in the sand ring, under the lights, open water, and it builds up into this 150 final, which I'm assuming some kids in here haven't exactly done 150, and this might be their first 150, and I think it's probably the most perfect first 150 that you can jump, especially since you've been competing with that horse all of circuit, and it's just increased ever so slightly every week. So
yeah, and we were saying about over 70 horses started the series at the beginning of the season here, and we're down to 29 for this finale Grand Prix. So it's been a lot of jumping to narrow this down. All right, we're just waiting for our first one to make it into the ring to get us started. Course is, of course, set by Oscar Soberon all week here, and they've been very challenging. Our 4-star Grand Prix last night was very, very difficult. Did you guys get a chance to watch that?
Yeah, it looked really challenging. I mean, Ashley
yeah,
was in it.
I jumped it.
You jumped it, right? I forgot, you jumped it.
I didn't exactly have the result that I wanted to, but I was quite happy with them. I just had little mistakes everywhere, but it definitely was challenging enough. I mean, there was 3 super clears and a few that were very close, but it was definitely challenging. It asked a lot of questions. It was big. But yeah, the courses this week, they've been tough. They've been challenging everyone.
I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier. I was chatting with some of the riders, and they thought that Oscar had set very different courses than some of the other course designers all season here, because he had sort of started out with a lot of single jumps and not so many related distances, and people were really struggling with that, especially with the big open gallops early on, and then the horses getting a bit strung out, and then they were really struggling to get them back together.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that we're going to see that today as well, right? 1 to 2 is a long run. Alongside the VAP, it starts at the BrainJuice Oxer, and then it makes a right-hand turn. You guys want to follow through and keep going? Tell everyone where the course goes.
Yeah, so you start with the green BrainJuice Oxer on the side, and then it's the lighthouse vertical right around the palm tree, and then it's a left-hand turn right back to the Oxer on the rail, and then you continue over, and it's kind of
another long run, huh?
Yeah, another long run down to the horseshoe vertical, and then it's 6 strides there to the Hermes Oxer, and then what do we walk there? 8 strides to the double on the rail.
I think 8. I walked 8 a little bit on the inside track.
Yeah. And then you jump the vertical to your right, and then it's a left-hand turn right back around to the water, which I think that'll get challenging for riders.
Especially,
it's an interesting turn.
Yeah, it's an interesting turn, and especially you have to find a distance to it where it's not set up for you, where in the previous rounds that you actually had a line to it, you kind of knew what you needed to do, and here you really need to make the decision yourself.
Yeah, for sure. That will definitely be more challenging, especially for these riders who aren't as seasoned with the water. And then 9 to the double of verticals there.
I think maybe
9.
You might even see one as 10 to the double verticals. Just depends, honestly, how they jump the water and how this class is riding.
And look at that. Our first one's making their way in. All right, we're going to finish telling you guys how the course goes as we follow number 1. And it is going to be Valentina Arenas Saravia. She is sitting on Lacido. Lacido's owned by the Alpine Stables, 5221 LLC, Enrique Arenas, Lucane Arenas Saravia, Valentina Arenas Saravia, and Lucia Saravia. So a lot of owners for this horse. It's an 11-year-old gelding by La Calido with the Julio mother. All right, so we're going to get us underway here. And let's see if she can pave the way for us. All right, 29 to see. First up is going to be Valentina Arenas. Start clock is gone. Time allowed is 82 seconds. I think that time sounds fair enough. It's a long course out there.
Yeah, I'd say it sounds pretty fair. It'll be interesting to see where she tries to make up time. This horse is naturally a bit quicker than some of the other ones in the class.
Did you guys walk a number there?
I walked 9 there, so that's exactly what I walked.
Good jump there by the in gate. Then another long run here. Let's see, I actually walked quite a long 6 here.
Yeah, so did I, especially for the first line. I mean, you do have that good setup. I mean,
so she ended up a little bit deep, ended up doing the 7.
I've actually been watching this horse throughout the U25s this series, and I've fallen in love with it. It is such a cool animal.
Seems really kind, and just getting a good run to this open water. That was well done. Backed up good there in that double. She was a little bit long coming in. So she stayed in on an 8 there. I actually walked maybe out 9 for some people. All right, so you see that clock. She's a little bit over the clock so far. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up a few time faults. 7 on the clock, 8 on the course. And 88.15 was her time. Let's look at this again. She had the early fence down. Just looked like shifted a bit on the takeoff, huh?
Yeah, just a little shift. I can't see from this angle. Maybe she got there a little sooner than she anticipated. But she finished off well. It seemed like throughout the course, she got more into her rhythm, and everything started to come up a lot easier for her.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like maybe she started a little bit kind of underpaced and then picked it up as she kept going. All right, we're going to move on to the USA's Maggie Jacobs. And Maggie is 20 years old. She, actually it's not. I don't think it is Maggie Jacobs, is it?
This is Nicole.
No, I was going to say it's not. This is actually Nicole Velasco Magana. And she's sitting on Daddy's Destiny.
this is another great horse. She didn't have the best day yesterday, but she, I believe, is sitting in 3rd in the series.
Yeah, I think she's sitting in 3rd in the overall, and we saw this horse jump yesterday also, and it jumped amazing. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's a great horse. Ooh.
Oh. Unfortunately, looking like she was just a little bit kind of going for the long one, shifted a little bit left, right. Yeah. But she is back up on her feet, and horse heading back towards the gate. So, unfortunately, that will end Nicole's quest here for the U25 Series Finale Grand Prix. And we'll have to see how that shakes things up on the overall leaderboard. There you can see she's looking a little stiff, but...
Yeah, hopefully she's all right. That vertical, or unfortunately that happened, it's tall enough and it's a bit awkward of a turn. You have to get the horse's eye on it quite early because I don't think they expect it to come up so fast, especially since you have a long time from jump 3 to 4.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, and I think the 6 walking a little long too. People are thinking that they have to keep the rhythm there in the corner. And then I think she just kept going and it just wasn't there.
Yeah, it looked like she just kind of came out of the turn and was getting a little shifty. Horse just didn't get her eye on it. Okay, we're going to move on. Now we're going to move on to Maggie Jacobs. Maggie Jacobs is sitting on Clyde VA. It's the Pony Up Sport Horses Limited entry of the 15-year-old stallion by Caratino 2 with the Quintero mother.
Maggie had a great result in the last semifinal under 25. She was double clear, and she also jumped clear on a time fault in the team event, which she seems to be getting on with this horse very well. It's a very cool horse, a bit different than the last couple that we have seen. This one's a bit slower. It has a bigger stride.
But really scopy horse. I remember it in the semifinal. It jumped great. All right, let's see what she does. Again, time allowed 82 seconds. So she looks good so far. But with a horse like this, you got to keep an eye on that time allowed, right? Because it makes it a little bit harder.
Yes, for sure. She should one more than the other ones in just the first line, so she's just going to have to stay on it everywhere else. The good thing about this course is that with a big strided horse and not so many related distances, that there's a lot of time to, or places to make up for the time allowed.
Donovan, what do you think happened there to 5A or to 6A?
I think she just didn't get too straight there. Maybe if she would have stayed out a bit more, she could have had a bit more canter up to it. She kind of jumped it going right to left there.
Yeah, a little bit of an angle. Trying to steady back here for the short double verticals.
She rode that great.
Yeah, that was a really good effort. Where she got a little bit close at 6A, she's really making sure now not to let that happen again.
Be quite close to the time allowed, but she seems to giving a bit of a gallop here.
Yeah, she will have time.
All right, she'll get through those timers. Does pick up a couple of time faults. 3 on the clock for jumping. 7 total. 84.88 is her time. Again, that time allowed 82 seconds. So we'll be able to watch one more to see if they make an adjustment to that time allowed. And there we can see exactly right, like what you said, Donovan. Just coming in a little bit on that angle. Ended up a little bit too close. All right, heard that buzzer, and it is going to be for USA's Caroline Maloney and Stella La Vista. Of course, this was our winner from the semifinal. And she's sitting on the 16-year-old mare owned and ridden by Caroline herself.
Here we're going to see a bit different of strides from Caroline, just because Stella Vista is very small. However, she doesn't normally have to worry about time allowed so much because this horse is just so quick.
Absolutely. Now, so she opted to do the 7 there. Do you think that that's maybe what happened at the front pole of the, again, hard to say with a horse like this, huh? With a shorter stride and what's the right move?
I'd say that for this horse walking into it, that I'd say the 7 is what she would normally be doing, but maybe she just got there a bit too soon, or
comes in a little bit quick to those double verticals, but very careful horse. Then stays out there in the 9, jumps through that net jets double well. Gets over the last and stays within our time allowed, but unfortunately does pick up that early fault at the front pole of the Hermes. 4 faults, time 80 flat actually was her time. So let's take a look at it again here. Just looked like maybe she got there a little too easy, huh?
Right.
I don't think that the 7 was necessarily the wrong move. I mean, I think if we were all sitting on that horse, we'd probably do the same.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 6 would just get a little bit too far away for her, and especially early on in the course, it might make her a bit flat.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to move on to Canada's William Martin and the Vlock Show Stables LLC entry, Ricor Courcelle. 17-year-old rider representing Canada and also owned by Leslie Martin. It's a 19-year-old gelding.
Yeah, this horse has had numerous results, but now he still seems to love jumping these classes. He still jumps.
Yeah, you would never think that
he
he was
would
19.
never know. He's had numerous results with Will as well, at young riders and especially this under 25.
Does that well. He can ride up a little bit to that Hermes.
Ooh.
What do you think there? We see B come down, so we've now seen A and B come down.
It's a good ride at the water.
Oh. So unlike the semifinal where we saw the water at 1 at night and 2 away from the in-gate, coming towards the gate here seems to be riding a little bit better than what we saw in the semifinal, I think.
Yeah, it's very different. It's you have to find your own distance to it rather than in the semifinal. You had a number to it, which I think a lot of people still struggled with, but it's interesting coming home into the gate. That's why they have the double verticals to the last.
A little bit deep there at the last, but gets it done. But you will pick up that one earlier fault. 4 faults total. Time is 81.91.
It was just under the time there.
Yeah, exactly. Just under that 82-second time allowed. So 4 faults. Still seeing no clears at the moment. Let's get a little bit of a replay of this. It looked like he maybe was a little bit far away and had a lot of speed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he was coming quite hot into it, and I think he jumped very far into the one stride, and he just towed it out.
No. All right, now we're going to move on to the man who was the winner from our Week 6 3-star Grand Prix. It's Ansgar Holters Jr. of the USA. And Good Morning B. It's the Gut Einhaus LLC entry of the 13-year-old gelding by Eldorado.
Jansky's been on fire this circuit with his first 3-star Grand Prix win. It's the only clear, as well as he's had a few 150 wins as well, which has been exciting. He won the first under 25 welcome on a different mount.
He's been having a hell of a season, and he's currently sitting second on our overall leaderboard. So this is an important day for him to see if he can take over that leading spot. A little bit wider there on his tracks, and this is not the fastest moving horse. We'll have to keep an eye on his time. I think he rode that beautifully.
Yeah, that was very well done. Jansky has a lot of scopy, big strided animals. So if anything, I think that he does a very good job at trying to stay under the time allowed.
Using track, right,
Yes.
instead of speed. It's looking beautiful so far. Ansky looking more and more secure
He might be
in
pretty
his
close,
riding.
though.
He's right on the edge. Ooh.
Oh,
No, unfortunately, will pick up that time fall. You can see him shake his head there, 83.30. Picking up the 2 on the clock, but that'll be our best so far. What a shame.
Yeah, he's going to kick himself for that. But he rode the round beautifully. Just some places there in the corners probably could have cut a bit of time off.
Yeah, really professionally ridden round. I thought he was very secure, very precise about everything. But like I said, after that rollback, I thought he was a little bit wide, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to our next, and it is going to be USA's Olivia Sweetnam. Olivia's sitting on the Sweet Oak Farm LLC, or just the Sweet Oak Farm, no LLC. Entry of Debbie Harry, 10-year-old Swedish-bred mare by Diamantino with the Cardento mother. And let's see what Olivia can do.
This is a newer mount for Olivia, but she seems to be getting along with her quite fast. This is also her first series of doing under 25s in Wellington, and it actually is her first year that she's even eligible by age to be able to compete in them, which is very cool.
Yeah, she's one of the youngest riders in the class.
She'll have 10 more years of doing this.
Yeah, crazy.
She literally looks like she's been doing it for...
Yeah.
Daughter, of course, of Shane Sweetnam. So she's got some good riding genes in there. She's looking good here. This was a neat, smart turn. This horse really keen, good expression.
That's
Oh,
great
shoot.
horse.
Unfortunately, having B coming out there, just looked like the horse landed real far into the double. What do you think happened there?
I think she maybe just didn't get him back enough there. Same thing in the double of vertical. She kind of just needed to sit back a little bit more.
Yeah, she'll get over that last. She is within our time allowed, 80.78, but does pick up the 2 on the course. Total of 8 faults for Olivia Sweetnam and Debbie Harry. So it's certainly looking challenging out there. We've seen rails come in lots of different places already. Now there just looked like landed a bit far into that double, huh? Not able to back up around the vertical.
Right, she just might have needed to protect her just a little bit more, but overall that was a super round for her to jump. I think that was her first 150 that she's ever jumped, so it's really good experience for her. And like we said, she has so many years to come back and jump this. And
Yeah, exactly.
She's going to be a force to reckon with.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to move on to France's Nina Malave. And Nina is sitting on Mademoiselle A, 12-year-old mare owned by the Rain Family LLC. And this horse by Corland with a Cardento mother. This was actually a horse formerly seen under Canada's Beth Underhill and the young English rider Jody Hall McAteer. And the Cardento mother of this horse actually jumped 155 herself. So, beautifully bred horse. And Nina, of course, was on our podium in the 4-star Grand Prix a few weeks back. So lots of experience. She's looking good so far.
Yeah, she's a great rider. Doing all the global tours with the Rain Family throughout the summer. She's had a lot of success there.
I think she does a beautiful job for the Rain Family. She rides a lot of different horses.
Yeah.
And successful on so many different ones. She's not so tall, actually, but she's really she's a real fighter up there in the saddle.
Yeah, for sure.
Never gives up. Beautiful timing with her position. Oh, I said that, and then
Yeah.
I jinxed her. So she does have that top pole of the offset Liverpool, and unfortunately the last one as well. So that'll bring her total count up to 8 penalty faults. 81.61 is her time. And let's take a look at this again. I thought she jumped this double beautifully. Let's take a look what happened here at 12.
Maybe she just shifted a bit in the air there.
Yeah, it looked like just on takeoff, shifted a bit to the left. And dumped that air mass beautifully. Okay, we're going to move on to the man who won one of the series events earlier in the season, Ireland's Tom Watchman, 19 years of age. He's already won one Grand Prix here at WEF. And he's sitting on Obora's Laura, the Coolmore show jumping entry of the 9-year-old mare by Louis Dom with the nonstop mother.
Tom is a very competitive rider. He has a great string of horses right now. Especially this one. He won the welcome on, I believe, week 6.
Yeah, I think the one, was it here or out on the grass?
In the covered, actually.
Oh, the covered.
We were rained out that week.
So you guys got to jump in every different possible ring this season.
Every possible ring.
I think it's actually smart. It's great. Great experience. And Tom's so competitive as a rider.
He's very competitive and he's very consistent. Looks like his horse is getting a bit strong here.
Did a great job there to actually use his upper body too, not just his hand,
Yeah, that was
to
great.
slow the horse down, and then had a beautiful turn on the backside.
Water jump.
And he jumped that great. And look at that again, that beautiful upper body, shoulders back through that double verticals.
Oof.
That just looked like he wanted maybe one less out of the corner, it looked like.
I think he might have changed his mind a bit there.
Yeah, I don't know if he necessarily, either changed his mind or it got a little bit stuck. The horse just kind of got stuck in the corner, and then he thought, ooh, I'm not going to get there.
Yeah, it's a tough turn away from the gate, and that Oxer's wide enough already. It's very unfortunate because the rest of the run was very good. He was under the time allowed.
Yeah.
By a good bit, yeah.
So he was well under that time allowed, 79.32. But with the one down, that'll put him into second at the moment. Again, still no clears as we make our way down this list. So challenging out there from Oscar Sobron's U25 finale Grand Prix. All right, let's take a look at USA's Sophia Caddy. She's sitting on the Twist Studio LLC entry ZG Bella. 12-year-old mare by Cornetto Belinsky with the Cassini 2 mother. All right, so time allowed is certainly playing a role, but looking like the jumps are causing the most trouble out there. She was neat and efficient about that turn.
Yeah, she's definitely thinking about time allowed.
This looks like a really big, scopy horse.
She was second in the Grand Prix, I believe. Week 6, she jumped a great double clear round. She was quite speedy.
Yeah, that was a very fast jump off. I believe there was like 16 or so clear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steadies up there into that double verticals. Maybe a little bit of a skip step as she took off, but didn't seem to be a problem at all. To see the balance is getting a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, top pole of that Liverpool vertical coming down. We've seen it come down now a couple of times. Takes the big one to the last, but does also pick up one time fault, 82.32, so just 0.3 of a second over that time allowed, but has the one down on the course as well. Let's take a look at it.
Where I think she was just a bit far away going into the net Jets AB, and that's caught up to her in the 4. But other than that, the rest of her round was super. There was very good parts.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a little bit after number 10 at the Horseware Ireland Oxer, looked like she lost the balance of the horse a little bit, and then that kind of screwed up the distance. The horse kind of went down, and then she had to kind of pick it back up, and she was a little bit far off, like you said, at that net Jets. All right, we're going to look at USA's Audrey Schultz next, and she is sitting on a Disa DM42, 10-year-old mare owned by Andrew Bournes. It's a Dorado mare. Good job there. I thought she landed off that and really moved up right away, thinking about that time allowed.
Yeah, for sure. With a horse like this, it's very big strided, big horse. You definitely want to be thinking about your turns there.
What do you guys think happened there?
It's hard to tell. Maybe she's got there a bit sooner than she anticipated.
It was a bit cheap. It was a bit of, yeah, maybe she could have ridden it better, but she wasn't. that
I don't
close.
think she rode it poorly,
Yeah.
honestly. I think horse just didn't really just sort of jump right into it. Didn't really
Yeah.
set itself and jump up and around it.
I think same thing at the second jump there too. A bit.
Just a bit casual.
Horse naturally looks like its balance wants to be a little bit low, and when horses get like that, I think it's easy for them to kind of lose the front end sometimes.
Yeah, she rode that line great.
Yeah. Beautiful at the last, and makes it just within our time allowed, 81.86, but does pick up the 2 on the course, so 8 faults total for Audrey and Disa DM. Yeah, there you could see number 2 coming down. Number 2 is a difficult jump. It's a little bit blind around the palm tree. I don't know if you guys can tell so much on the camera from the angle we're sitting at, but it's very blind, no?
Yeah, it's a bit blind, and they don't exactly know where they're going, and then it's very plain rails. So maybe that's catching them off guard, or...
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a look at USA's Hallie Grimes. Hallie is sitting on the Can We Keep It LLC entry, Marguerite de Mariposa. It's a 12-year-old mare by Nabob with the For Pleasure mother. Do you guys know that the mother of this horse was Florum de Mariposa, that wonderful chestnut horse that Penelope Leperot used to ride?
Oh, really?
Yep. Looking like the mare's getting maybe a little bit strong with Hallie.
They-
One thing I love watching with Hallie is that I think she is so scrappy up there. I mean, she absolutely never, she rides every single stride. She never gives in. She's going a little bit fast here.
Yeah, it seems like they're in a bit of a tug of war.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she has quite the control that I think she would like to have.
She's working hard up there, though.
Yeah. Mare's trying to leave the jumps up, though. Unfortunately, we're seeing number 12 come down yet again. That difficult short line at the end. So she's well within that time allowed, 70 seconds flat, but does pick up the 2 on the course. 8 faults total for Hallie and Marguerite. Let's look at this again. So gets over A, jumps B really well, and then you can see she's trying to slow down, but never really had enough time to quite finish that stride.
Right, that's a hard line to begin with, especially when you don't exactly have the control that you would like.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like we spoke about, this course, it sort of opens up with a lot of big spaces, and then you have to reel it all in at the end, and that's the real test out there. And I think that's why we're seeing number 12 come down so much. All right, let's take a look at Great Britain's Grace Stepney. And the Temple Equestrian LLC entry, Zarina de Vidal. 13-year-old mare by Diamant. Grace was another one that we all thought maybe had a good shot for today's class.
Yeah, for sure. She's super competitive with this horse. They just won a 2-star this circuit, and they placed in one of the U25s early on in circuit, but she's got a lot of top results on this horse as well as all her animals right now.
Absolutely.
She just didn't get that 6 done there.
And again, Liverpool, it's another Oxer out there that has the Liverpool under it. So we're seeing the 2 Liverpools come down a lot.
Yeah, I think that the horses just look into it a bit.
Exactly. Always they kind of look down and just not at the top pole.
She'll definitely try to be one of the quickest 4-faulters.
Yeah. Beautiful ride there to the water. Like you said, we've seen no clears here at the moment. So a quick 4 could put her into the lead even. Ooh, a little bit of a touch there at number 12.
Yeah, we're almost at half the class, and there hasn't been clear yet.
Yeah,
Quick on that time, 79.24. She'll go into second place, but does pick up the 4 faults on the course at that Liverpool at the Hermes Oxer. So no clear for Grace. And let's take a look at it again here. What do you guys think?
Got there a bit forward, I think. Maybe she thought that she had to ride a bit up through that turn.
Yeah, I thought she just looked like she was still moving when she took off.
For sure.
All right, we're going to look at USA's Bailey McKeever. Bailey is sitting on her own entry, Formidable. It's the 14-year-old mare by Karen Bowl with the Calvados mother.
This is a great horse. The pair have had a lot of success together in jumping these bigger classes.
Training with McLean, right?
Yes.
And of course, McLean's longtime manager, Lee McKeever. This would be his daughter. Beautiful ride there. Great use of the upper body. Just stayed with the horse.
Good turn there. You can tell that she's really trying to be under the time.
And gets over it. Didn't look like it. It was not the prettiest water jump, but it worked. And there had a lot of speed, landed well past the center point of that one stride from the front legs, but managed to get out of the way at B.
Yeah, it's a very clever horse.
Whoa.
That was 5.
Not so sure what happened there, but
I don't think she was planning that.
That is our first clear.
Look at that. 79.14 and clear for Bailey McKeever. And look at that nice hug. So that'll be our first clear of the day. Bailey McKeever and Formidable. Going clear here. Doesn't necessarily have to be the prettiest. You just got to get it done sometimes.
Clear's a clear.
She was thinking about that time aloud. Big jump at the last. You could see the horse take off, and she kind of grabbed mane and said, well, we're going to stay with you. All right, so we are now sitting on the 1 clear, but let's see if we can get a jump off. Canada's Sabrina Lefebvre is coming up next, and she's on RF Most Wanted. It's 11-year-old gelding owned and ridden by Sabrina herself. It's a horse by Vegas with a Madison mother. And I think this horse is actually out of the Vegas that Christine Tribble rode, or Christine McRae. And again, there goes number 2.
Yeah, I think it's just the turn there. People are trying to be neat, but it's a bit blind, and it is set back across. And I think getting there at the angle is catching a lot of people.
Yeah, like Ashley said, I think those simple plain rails, those plain blue rails, they really just don't judge them well. They're just a little bit too simple. And then again, we see this front pole of the Liverpool Oxer coming down as well. The water causing a lot less trouble today than it did in a few of the other rounds.
Yeah, for sure. In the semifinal, I think a lot of people had trouble with the water, but today it seems to be coming up nicely.
Yeah, which is great. Also, you know, when you do a series like this and you get to jump the open water a couple of times, you get to practice it a bit.
For sure. This is our 4th time now jumping the water in the class, and I'm sure under the lights, it's the first time without a pole over it. Just the environment alone is a bit more pressure on the scenario. It looks a bit different to the horses as well.
All right, Sabrina will finish up time 84.26, 12 jumping, 3 on the clock, going into 13th place at the moment.
Yeah, I actually think that week 6 they were supposed to have the water in the grass, but it got rained out, so they moved to the covered. and that was the first time that they were going to do the water week 6. Usually the first time is week 8.
Yeah. So there we can see that Hermes ox are coming down. Okay, we're moving on now to Canada's Sarah Tyndall. Sarah is sitting on the Ashford Farm BV entry, Keno. 16-year-old stallion by Lord Zed with the Chamberton 3 mother. Former ride of Karen Poley and Sergio Moya, as well as Erica Maas, Beth Underhill, Henrik von Eckermann, and Philip Weishaupt. This horse has had a lot of riders. A big, scopy horse. Oh.
Well, that came down late as well.
Yeah, that was kind of a cheap fault. Just touched it behind. Just looked like he maybe shifted his hind end a little, kind of twisted his hind end a little bit as he jumped that. And had, I think, the front pole behind.
Yeah.
Gets through the turn. This is a much bigger horse with a big gallop. She'll definitely have to think about that time allowed. Again, with only the one clear, a 4-8 fault round can still have you up in the ribbons. A little bit long there at number 10, but real scopy jump. Two Liverpools coming down on the course. Gets over that last, but does pick up a couple on the clock. 4 time faults, 12 on the course, 85.95 is her time. There you can see that Liverpool ox are coming down as well. And then let's take a look at this here. Gets over A, big stretch over B, and then here just shifts real hard left on takeoff. All right, we're moving on to the USA's Carly McCutcheon. And Carly is sitting on the Purple Rain Investments entry, Coco Mercedes, 11-year-old mare by Chaco's son too, with the Floriston mother. And Carly has won so many things over the last couple of years, just been dominating.
She's a very great up-and-coming rider, and especially with this horse, it's very competitive. If she produces a clear round today, it'll be a great one to see in the jump-off.
Doesn't look like the easiest horse. I think Carly handles it really, really well. It's a little bit kind of fussy in its mouth and rooting a bit, and a lot of blood, jumps a bit in its own shape.
A lot of blood, yes.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like the straps of the boots behind her.
Yeah, it looks like it's come undone. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny, you don't see that so often.
Really good there in the double with her body.
Yeah, exactly. This horse wants to jump a little bit straighter through its top line. Doesn't necessarily want to use its neck and shoulders. There, she did an unbelievable job. The horse really dropped behind her, and she just put her leg on and guided it without overdoing it. That was a professional move that she just made.
Yeah, it really likes to root down there when it's a long approach, so this course is probably quite challenging for her.
But not too challenging, since she will produce another clear round. 80.78 within our time allowed, and we are assured of a jump off. So Carly McCutcheon adds her name to the good list with Coco Mercedes. So now we have Bailey McKeever and Formidable and Carly McCutcheon and Coco Mercedes. So well done there. And luckily that means we're assured a jump off. So 2 on the good list right now. Little adjustment there right at the end, and gets it done. All right, we're going to take a look at Mexico's Karim Perez Nunez. And they're on entry, Felice de Coquerie. 9-year-old mare by Melito de Rev.
Karim's a very competitive rider, and she's also a very fast rider. And if this one gets into the jump off, it will also be very hard to beat because it is quite quick.
Such wonderful horses in this class. You see really competitive horses, and the partnerships with these riders are so nice to see at such a young age.
Ooh, bummer.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like she just got there too early. This is a careful thing, huh?
Yeah.
So careful.
Certainly feisty looking. And only 9 years of age jumping this meter 50 class. Like you said, this is the first meter 50 for a lot of the riders, but for a lot of these horses and riders in the U25 series, you know, I think you get the horses sometimes younger and you develop them a little bit, and then they come up together. So it becomes the first class as you move up the levels, not only for the rider, but for the horse as well.
For sure, and I think some of the top people in these classes do their younger horses in these classes to prep them.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it's a nice way to ease into meter 50. Okay, so she will pick up 2 down on the course, 8 faults total, 80.02 for Karim and Felici. So with the 2 down, that means here, let's take a look at this here. Yeah, she did the 1 more in the line, which I don't necessarily think is wrong, but it looked like she maybe just did a little bit late.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was her plan or not to do the 7 or 6, but I think she came in and maybe she felt that she needed to add 1 more stride because she couldn't make the 6 happen.
Yeah. And honestly, the 6 walked really long for me. I mean, I heard people talking out there like it was sort of normal, and when I walked it, I was thinking, it walks kind of long.
Especially off that turn, and it's a very tall vertical in.
Yeah.
It definitely can get away from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on to USA's Caitlin Keeley. And the Keeley Equestrian LLC entry, Mystic Sea Vant Highveld. 12-year-old gelding by Thunder van de Zoetove.
This is a great horse, and I know that this is her first year doing the series, and she's had a lot of success. To be able to make it to the final in your first year is just an accomplishment.
Yeah, amazing. She looks like quite a tall girl as well, actually, for being so young. Strong ride in there, but it worked out. A little bit of reorganization, but keeps the foot down on the gas, keeps moving. I really think everyone who's jumping this class today really learned a ton from that open water in the semifinal, because I see them all really riding it. You know, that night I thought people underrode the water significantly, and now I see them when they really do have to find it on their own. They're really using the pace and the speed. It's unfortunate.
Definitely. Practice definitely helps, because there hasn't really been any water issues. Everyone's jumping it very well.
Yep. So unfortunately, just having the back pole of the NetJets Ox are coming out of that double. So quick time, 79.89. But with the 4 faults, that'll put her into 6th place at the moment. So again, still just sitting on the 2 clear. And there, jumped in okay. Just looked like he jumped up and didn't quite get across that back pole. All right, moving on to Lola Heed. She's sitting on her own entry, Shalane de Blondel. 12-year-old mare by Nonstop. And let's see what Lola can do. She gets a good shot at number 2. She did a good job there of not going too far to the rail. She kind of cut across the middle, but then carried a lot of speed through that line. It's always the thing with Liverpools is that, and we see them at every level of the entire sport, you know, whether you're jumping them with young horses or U25 or senior high-level 4- and 5-star Grand Prix. Liverpools, you always want to stay a little bit further away from them than you think you need to. Because the horse's eye level goes down to look at the pool underneath, you always want a little bit more space, especially at those Liverpool Oxers.
Yeah, for sure, the 2 Liverpools are coming down the most today.
Yeah. But again, that's a subtlety of the difference between starting at meter 50 and, you know, being very seasoned at that level. And there, what do you think? Just got there a little bit deep?
Yeah, I think she might have just gotten there a bit early. Kind of the same thing that might have happened at the Hermes Oxer.
Yeah, 5. All right, so Lola will finish up 78.21 with the 1 down. 2 down. I think she had 2 down, actually. Yeah. So there, yeah, you can see that last stride. She was just a little bit too close. All right, let's move on to Ireland's Daniel Gainey. And he is sitting on Ballia Sylvia, 9-year-old mare by owned by Castlefield Breeding Farm. It's by Baloo Durouet. Like we said, 5 or 6 different nations represented here today. U.S., Canada, Mexico, UK, France, and Ireland.
This is a good horse. I didn't realize it was so young because he did it in the series last year.
Wow, he did it as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And again, does this series, you guys jump the series, does it build, is the first class that you jump a little bit softer? Obviously, this is the biggest, because that being the finale, but do you find that it builds consistently throughout the series, or does it stay sort of really meter 45 the whole time?
I'd say so.
It stays at 145. Maybe the course and the team event's a bit softer just because it's the smaller ring. However, still just as hard. Competitive enough because you have so many great horse and rider combinations in it that you have to weed out some, but I think the elements that are added with the under the lights and then the pressure of what it feels like to be on a team and Nations Cup format, as well as the 150 and the water, I think there's other elements that are added that makes the pressure on.
Such a great series. All right. Unfortunately, that back pole of that NetJets ox are coming down. Same kind of thing. Horses are kind of strung out and the balance all a little bit low so late in the course. And we're now seeing that really come down quite a lot. He'll finish up 81.08, and on the 8 faults, that'll put him into 15th place at the moment. There, actually, I thought he jumped A really well, but then he added a little bit of leg and pushed a little bit at B, and I think it just threw the balance of the horse a little bit off and down.
Yeah, agreed.
And then just cuts down a little bit coming out of that double. All right. Looking like we've got about, less than 10 left. Let's see. We've got 2 on the good list so far. Can 18-year-old Mia Bagnato add her name? She's sitting on Balio Skill Big Bucks. It's the Elon Farm entry of the 11-year-old Irish-bred gelding.
He is a great little rider. She's very competitive and she has great natural feel. She loved watching her jump these horses because she's so accurate on them.
Yeah, she's a great rider and she's a fighter too. She's got it done.
Small but mighty. That's what we like.
Very.
This horse is a massive step.
Yeah. She did a good job. I thought she sat still there. I mean, she tried to steady up. Just, of course, just covered the ground so significantly. Like you said, she has such a natural feel up there. Reminds me a little bit of Kristen Vanderveen, actually, in her position.
Yeah.
You can see, I think she's really thinking about the time allowed, knowing that she's had the one down. I think she's thinking to be as quick as she can. She's looking quite efficient.
For sure. We're winding down here, and now there's just the 2 clear and Onski with the 2 time faults.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, she's just going to be a little close to the time.
I was going to say, she looks a little slow, however. She was starting to like try to be quicker, but I think she was a little bit late in making that decision. So, unfortunately, we'll pick up a couple time faults. 83.84, 2 on the clock with the 1 down. Let's take a look at this. She sat up beautifully. Horse just didn't back away from the front pull well.
Yeah. She came in a little deep, maybe, and then just was still pushing or needed to sit up.
All right, so she'll finish up with those 6 faults, and we will move on to USA's 18-year-old Stephanie Garrett. Stephanie Garrett is sitting on the Postage Stamp Farm LLC entry Darius de Kezeg Z. It's a 13-year-old gelding Zangerside bred by Darko with a Heartbreaker mother. Shifted a little bit there at 2, but had enough height to get over it. Horse a good jumper.
Yeah, it's a really cute horse. She rides well.
She did well at Young Riders this year, as well as she jumped some clear rounds in the...
There, just looked like dropped behind her leg a little bit, and she went to steady, and the horse really came off the bridle a bit. She did a good job, put her leg back on. Good ride there.
That's very good.
Very careful there in the verticals.
Keep an eye on her. She's right on the time. She looks... She's not slow, but she's not super quick. She's looking good. I think she's going to be okay. 1 left to go. Could she do it and add her name?
Oh, just a little bit far away, maybe, but...
What a shame. She was fine on the time. 79.89 was her time, but unfortunate last fence coming down. That heartbreaker, huh? Let's look at it again. Horse, I think, almost thought it was done. It looked like.
I agree. I think, honestly, like the setup to the last jump, just the horses thinking they're done, kind of is similar to last night's Grand Prix with the last oxer. I think a lot of people end up just, the horses get behind their leg.
Yeah, exactly. And you could see she ended up having to re-steer and put the leg back on. All right, now we're going to move on to the current series leader, Ireland's 19-year-old Frances Derwin. Frances is sitting on Eileen, 15-year-old mare, owned by the Oakland Ventures LLC. It's by Karen Bowl with the Maramis mother. I knew this horse well in Europe. I'm friendly with Katerina Awful, and she rode this horse, and I saw this horse win class after class after class. And Frances has been doing tremendous on this horse.
Frano's an incredible rider, and he's been very consistent with this horse all of season.
Frances already such a successful rider as a young kid, winning gold medal at the Pony European Championships back in 2019. And he won on Ireland's bronze medal winning team for the juniors in 2022. Great use of the upper body there.
Yeah, he rode that great. Went out a little wide there, but the mare is so quick, you probably won't have to worry about time too much.
Yeah. Beautiful jump through there.
Oh.
Oh, what a shame. Light touch there. I almost thought maybe it'd stay up for a second.
Yeah.
I honestly think he did enough work there.
Yeah.
Really bummed about that, but
Yeah, for sure. Oh, very, very frustrating at that penultimate fence. Time was 81.26, so he was within that time allowed, but with the second to last fence coming down, that will put him behind Ansky.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how that shakes out.
We're going to see exactly what happens with our overall standings, because Ansgar just had the 2 time faults and came in here in second, and Francis came in the lead. So we're going to have to see where they finally finish up and how that affects their final placing. All right, let's take a look now at USA's Dominic Gibbs and Clip de la Hazy, the 12-year-old gelding owned by Top Secret LLC. Sourced by Caritano. Number 2 coming down again. So we're seeing number 2, number 5, and number 12, I think, come down the most today. Yeah, and we see that come down as well. Look like there, honestly, I would say, I think a little bit his upper body he was just trying to get up there, and he just kind of tipped the shoulders forward a little bit, and the horse then kind of just jumped right into that front pole. Beautiful ride there at the water.
Just needed to sit up a bit more there in the double.
Yeah. Keeping the energy up. And unfortunately, the front pole of the Net Jets, as well as number 12 coming down. And unfortunately has the last as well. So not Dominic's day, as he picks up 24 faults, 78.20, quite quick on his time. But not the day for Dominic Gibbs. All right, we've got 4 remaining coming in to the end of this first round.
Yeah, it should be interesting. None of the top 5 went clear, so it should be interesting to see how the series shakes out.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to affect the final placings.
Yeah, because it's double points.
A lot, yeah, exactly. All right, we'll have to see what happens. But before that, 4 left. First of those is going to be Isabel Cox and the 5 Roosters entry, Enrique.
Isabel's been riding fantastic this season. She's been so consistent in the under 25s with a few different mounts, but this one's by far my favorite.
Jumps up real high there at number 2. Gets over it, but could use a little bit more push going forward.
Sure, that great.
Yeah, a little bit of a light touch at the front pole, but luckily that one stayed up. So she's through one of the first, number 2 and number 5.
Yeah.
Just pops over the water. Amazing what a difference it makes when the water is going towards the gate versus away from the gate.
Right, definitely.
Yeah,
I think you really underestimate that.
Don't want to jinx it, but I don't think we've seen anyone have a foot in.
No, not today. Not even anything on the tape. Goes out here, does another one coming into this double.
Oh, shoot.
Unfortunately, that Liverpool vertical coming down.
It's a very careful jump, and I think maybe she was thinking about going into the last jump for time allowed inside that standard there.
Yeah.
At the Liverpool. And
yeah. And she will pick up 2 on the clock. 83.36 is that time. So with the 1 down and the 2 on the clock, total of 6. And that'll put her into 12th at the moment. A little bit deep there at number 3. Jumped up real high. All right, 3 left. First of those, actually, yes, 3 left. Iron Lady, Vanda Cranenberg, and Natalie Dean, the Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry of the 10-year-old mare. And Natalie coming off, fresh off of a good win. She just won our meter 50 in the 4-star about an hour ago. Natalie, of course, jumped on the Nations Cup for the Senior Nations Cup teams for the U.S. over last summer.
Yeah, she's a great rider. She's very quick.
Yeah. Tremendous experience at this point. And again, I think this may be one of her younger horses coming up. Training with Ben Mayer at the moment.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Has the front pole of 6A.
Ooh, slipped out in that turn a bit.
Yeah. She was quite efficient and neat about that turn, but just looked like the hind leg slipped a little bit.
I'm not sure she's done a ton of big classes with this horse, at least this season yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one out so much, actually. Unfortunately, also having A of the net jets. We actually haven't seen A come down so much, more B.
Yeah.
Right.
Gets over the last quick enough time, 78.53, but we'll pick up the 2 down. 8 faults for Natalie Dean and Iron Lady. So, first of our remaining 2 making their way into the ring. And it is, there you can see, just has A down. And let's take a look what happens here at 11A. She looked like she actually got there okay. Horse just jumped at it a little bit.
I mean, having not done too many big classes with that horse, maybe it's a good class to step into for this final.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to move on to the first of our remaining 2, and it's 20-year-old Virginia Bonney of the USA, and she's sitting on Effadia, owned by Nina Bonney and by Cashmere. It's a Dutch-bred mare, 15 years of age. And I know this horse very well since it was in my stable.
It's a great horse.
Yeah, it's a super horse. And really incredibly brave horse. It jumped, I think it jumped the Hickstead Derby, or it jumped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I remember it jumped something, and when I looked up its
derby.
when I looked up its record, it said it had jumped meter 70.
Wow.
So tremendously scopy, and Virginia's had wonderful success on this horse.
Yeah, she's a great rider.
Beautiful jump there at the water. She's looking good so far. Do we think we're going to get another one added to this jump off? Just 2 clear at the moment.
Hope so. I'd love to watch this horse go clear.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's good on time.
Stay straight. Whoa.
No.
Unfortunately, thinking about maybe that inside turn just shifts a little bit on takeoff.
Bummer.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting caught thinking about the last jump.
Yeah.
There, just turning in the air.
Exactly. So good time, 78.50. That'll put her into 4th at the moment. But with the 4 faults, let's take a look at this. Funny, I was thinking already, don't let her shift. That's exactly what happened. Because she actually jumped through the net jets really straight there. And then here,
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But that means we've made it to our last one here in the first round for the $50,000 BrainJuice U25 Series Finale Grand Prix. And it's Riley Delbeck and Cardozo 4. 11-year-old gelding owned by Todd Minicus Limited by Colestis. And let's see what Cardozo can do with Riley. So just the 2 clear at the moment. 1 chance left to add a 3rd one, but clearly a very challenging course out there today. Beautiful jump there.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah. Really
This horse does
scopy
it.
horse, this.
Yeah.
This horse is by Colestis, which is a stallion ridden by Christian Kukuk. That it was like awesome in the young horse classes in Europe. Everybody like loved it. But you're just starting to see some of the progeny in the sport now. Oh!
Oh, no.
It's actually the
Heartbreaker.
only one that
Yeah.
we've seen had a foot in the water, and she just looked like maybe she could have even done one more stride to it.
Yeah.
And then just carried a lot of pace coming into the double verticals as well. Reorganizing here for this last line. Just kept the horse straight there. She rode that beautifully. She really held the
Yeah.
horse straight and then turned on the landing versus turning midair. That was really well done.
Yeah, I think she just let it get a bit unraveled after the water.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit to the water and then just unfortunately snowballed a bit here. Yeah. There looked like maybe she either needed to get up there a little bit more or she could have even done one more to it and then had a couple down in a row. But after pulled it back together. So she will finish up actually with 81.19 was her time, 12 faults. Okay, so that means 2 clear. Formidable and Bailey McKeever, Coco Mercedes, Carly McCutcheon. What'd you guys think of the first round?
I thought it was very challenging. I mean, you see some of these top riders like Freno and Natalie having rails down, and they're up in the top of the standings. I'm sure they'll be upset, but I thought it was quite difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ashley, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was difficult enough. I thought maybe there was going to be more than just 2 clear, but
Agreed.
I think a lot of riders were super close. Unfortunately, just had one down, but the same kind of rails came down for a majority of the class. So,
yeah. All right, well, they are set now for our jump off, which will be coming up shortly. Again, of course, thanks to BrainJuice for the sponsorship of this entire series and today's finale Grand Prix. And of course, thanks to Dodd Technologies for presenting our live stream. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit them online at doddtechnologies.com. Today's live stream also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back with you guys in just a minute. Don't go anywhere, because finale action coming up in just a couple of minutes. 2 to see in our jump off. We'll be back in a short second.
My first goal when I decided to be a professional is to become like the best horsewoman I can be. It's really important for me to find a balance with my family, with the horses, that is my passion. Work with the horses every day to do what I love. I used to have like one passion was the horses, and now I have 2. It's my daughter, so I really want to have this balance in my life. I'm Marie Ecart, I'm a professional show jumper representing France, and I'm Lola's mom. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
The cowboy hustle is physically demanding. No doubt you gotta be tough. But even more important is your mental fitness. Your brain has to be firing on all cylinders to perform, to be clear, to concentrate, and to focus. I'm a father, a cowboy, a businessman, and a musician, and so much more. I drink Brain Java House Brew, packed with the brain power blend of essential vitamins and minerals my brain needs every day to get it done. Low in natural sugar, low in calories, low in carbohydrates, and low in sodium. It's a great natural and healthy alternative to energy drinks. Brain Java. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
I share my life with them. I think we're lucky that we get to do what we do, and I've never looked at it as a sacrifice.
For me, being on a horse is the one place I can truly be myself.
They do have a language, you just have to learn how to speak it.
Remember that they feed off of our energies, and so if you're in a good mood or you're happy, they'll reflect that back.
You meet people from all over the world. You have friends that share the same passion for horses, and I think that's something very special.
Horses is the only constant thing in my life, and it will always be there when I need it.
For me, it's connection.
They make me who I am.
It's very hard to explain. It's magical.
It's just who we are.
In one word, it's freedom.
For me, it's everything.
Goes like this.
My first goal when I decided to be a professional, it's to become like the best horsewoman I can be. It's really important for me to find the balance with my family, with the horses, that is my passion. Work with the horses every day to do what I love. I used to have like one passion was the horses, and now I have two with my daughter. So I really want to have this balance in my life. I'm Marie Ecart, I'm a professional show jumper representing France, and I'm Lola's mom. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
The cowboy hustle is physically demanding. No doubt you gotta be tough. But even more important is your mental fitness. Your brain has to be firing on all cylinders to perform, to be clear, to concentrate, and to focus. I'm a father, a cowboy, a businessman, and a musician, and so much more. I drink Brain Java House Brew, packed with the brain power blend of essential vitamins and minerals my brain needs every day to get it done. Low in natural sugar, low in calories, low in carbohydrates, and low in sodium. It's a great natural and healthy alternative to energy drinks. Brain Java. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
All right, hello and welcome back, everybody. As you can see, tractors are still out there getting ready. Of course, we are here for the $50,000 BrainJuice U25 Series Finale Grand Prix. And BrainJuice is the #1 natural daily brain supplement and is a proud sponsor and major sponsor of Wellington International. You can find BrainJuice products at Wellington International concessions or online at www.brainjuice.me. Use discount code WEF for 20% off your purchase. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain. And of course, thanks to Dodd Technologies for supporting our live stream all season long here. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. And today's live stream also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. All right, we have seen this first round complete. 2 made it in, as you can see, looking like they're both heading up towards the gate for our deciding round. I'm in the booth here with Donovan Ross and with Ashley Vogel. What do you guys think? And who do we think is going to win?
This will be an interesting jump off. This will be an interesting jump off. It's girl power. 2 girls in the jump off.
We love it. We love seeing that.
Yeah, we love seeing that. Bailey and Carly are both incredible riders. They both have very quick horses. Carly has a bit of an advantage going second after Bailey, but we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. And of course, like we were saying before, anyone in the top 5 of our original overall standings did not make it into this jump off, so there's going to be a big shake-up there. And we'll see how that ends up. But our first one making her way into the ring, and it's USA's 19-year-old Bailey McKeever. And Bailey is sitting on Formidable. It's the Bailey McKeever owned and ridden entry of the 14-year-old Dutch-bred mare by Karen Bowl with the Calvados mother. Trained by McLean Ward. And Ashley, you want to take us through our jump-off course?
Do you remember it, Donna?
Starts at number 1.
It starts at the BrainJuice Oxer, and then just inside there, the palm tree to the white Oxer across.
New obstacle at number 15. Yes. And here we go. Left to right angle.
The big Oxer at number 15 as well.
Yeah, it's definitely set a few holes higher.
She jumped that good.
She chose to go around instead of inside. I think that's a good option. If she goes clear here, it'll put a lot of pressure on Carly.
Yeah, exactly. No need to really go inside in this case with just the 2 in the jump off.
There's your 8 there.
6. And long run down to the last. Keeps kicking.
That was very well done.
That was great, yeah.
Look at that. Clear round 37-37 becomes our automatic leader and time to beat. And we're going to see if Carly McCutcheon can catch her. But what a superb day for Bailey McKeever. Jumping the double clear here, putting on the pressure, and performing like an absolute champ. 37-37 is going to be that time to beat. And now we're going to take a look at 18-year-old Carly McCutcheon and Coco Mercedes, the Purple Rain Investments entry of the 11-year-old Westphalian mare by Chaco's Son 2.
Be interesting to see what Carly does here to try to make up some time. She had a good slice. Bailey did jump number 2, and she did the leave out to the net jets.
So she's coming a little bit more right to left, but she's really on the right corner.
That was fast.
I think she did really one quick. Less there.
Yeah.
So she goes around. Sits up. Ooh. Oh. And unfortunately, you could tell she was trying to use her upper body to slow the horse down. She had a lot of speed coming in, but just lost the shape of the jump a little bit.
For sure.
And then another one comes down as well. So that does mean that our winner is going to be Bailey McKeever. But Carly's got one left to jump here. Clears the last time. 38.90 is her time. So she's about a second and a half slower, but she did slow up, of course, picking up the 2 down on the course. But that means that congratulations are in order for Bailey McKeever, our winner. Carly McCutcheon will end up in second. And Ansgar Holters Jr. will pick up the third. We'll see if that is enough to move him into the overall leader spot. And then Virginia Bonney and Afadia go into fourth. Grace Debney into fifth with Zarina Di Vidal. And then sixth to Tom Watchman and Oboros Laura. Seventh to Darius de Kizeg and Stephanie Garrett. And tied seventh, actually. They both had the exact same time, 79.89. So Caitlin Keeley and Stephanie Garrett tie for seventh. Ninth to Stella LaVista and Caroline Monwinnie, who was our winner from the semifinal. And in 10th is our overall leader coming into today, Frances Derwin and Eileen. But we'll see where the final things end up, of course, thanks to our... All right, so again, thanks to Brain Juice, the #1 natural daily brain supplement. It's a proud partner and major sponsor of Wellington International. We thank them for their sponsorship of this series and for today's finale Grand Prix. Brain Juice products are available at Wellington International concessions or online at brainjuice.me. All right, let's take a look at our winning round. She did the 9 there. She goes around. She did a perfect job, right? To execute enough pressure to put the pressure on for Carly, but without going too crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I think she read this phenomenally.
Yeah. The execution and the strategy behind this probably coming from McLean Ward. And, of course, he had pretty good strategy last night winning, too.
Exactly.
But look at this. And she's going to the last little belly kicks there, making sure the horse is going. Big one to the last. What a ride. Congratulations to our winner for this Brain Juice U25 Series Finale Grand Prix. It's been a wonderful day of show jumping here. We saw 29 horses compete. Thanks to Brain Juice. Thanks to Dot Technologies. Thanks to the USEF Network. That is going to be the conclusion of Week 10 here at Wellington International. Big weeks coming up, though. Two more, another 4-star, and of course the Rolex 5-star Week 12. What are you guys going to do the rest of the 2 weeks?
Bit more show jumping.
Just a bit more show jumping.
And we'll have a break after. It's gone by, I think, very fast.
Yeah, it always does. Start slow, and then it's the end before you know it. Absolutely. So we're just waiting there. You can see our third place finisher, Ansgar Holters Jr., coming up with the third place rosette around the neck. But overall impressions of today's class and the series, guys, what do you think?
Great riding. I thought today was quite difficult. I was surprised to only see 2 clear, but just goes to show that the course was quite difficult.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I think all the riders did a very good job with the water. Yeah, and it's definitely very cool to watch all the horse and rider combinations as the series goes on and how their partnerships continue to form. And there's Bailey.
And there we go. There's our winner making her way in. As you can see, they're going to make their way back in front of that Brain Juice jump. There's our podium. Bailey McKeever in to first. Second place to Carly McCutcheon. Third to Ansgar Holters Jr. Looking like she lost a ribbon.
All these riders, too, they have many more years at this series, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, exactly. All young. I think all around 18 years of age.
Yeah, they're all quite young.
And they got many more years to keep jumping this and dominating. However, we've seen, obviously, Ansgar Holters already winning a 3-star Grand Prix this season. And congratulations to him. Again, his time for third place was 83.30 in the original first round, so he ended up on the two time fault round. So into third. Congratulations to Ansgar. Second place coming up, Carly McCutcheon and Coco Mercedes. 38.90 was her time in the jump off. Nice big smile there for her prize giving. And a little photo op. And And we're going to move on to our winner, who is making her way up to the BrainJuice jump. And of course, the winning rider from today's U25 series finale Grand Prix, USA's Bailey McKeever, and Formidable. 37:37 was her winning time. Congratulations. Got that beautiful BrainJuice jump, BrainJuice cooler, BrainJuice bag, BrainJuice hat. She's decked out in BrainJuice.
Lots of merch.
Lots of merch, and we love it. Big smiles for our winner. Congratulations, Bailey. Absolutely wonderful. And we have our overall series presentation coming up shortly.
Yeah, I think the overall this year, the class used to be sponsored by Hermes, so I know you used to get a lot of stuff there, but this year you get to design your own electric bike, electric scooter.
Cool.
Yeah.
What a cool thing, guys.
And the free flight to Europe, which is what everybody
really wants. Yeah. And you get to travel over to Europe. And here we've got our national anthem of the USA. All right, congratulations again to our winner, Bailey McKeever, and Formidable. Second went to Coco Mercedes and Carly McCutcheon. And third, of course, to Ansgar Holters Jr. and Good Morning Bee. There, she's off for her victory gallop. And we are going to do our overall series presentation in just a minute. But it was a beautiful day of show jumping here. Warm, sunny afternoon. Finally warm here in Florida. It was a miserable winter, to be honest.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the standings are for the overall series, because it's always, I feel like, so close in the final.
Yeah. We were trying to do some calculations ourselves. And so we do know our overall leaders now. So we're going to have our overall series presentation coming up in just a short second. Of course, congrats to today's winners, Bailey McKeever and Formidable. Well earned. And they are just getting ready for the overall. Looking like she's going for a couple more photos. Take those photo ops while you can, right, guys? With the cooler and the cooler and the blue ribbon. They don't come along that often in our sport. You got to take everyone we can get. All right. And it looks like we do have our final results in for the top three of our overall. And in third place, it was Tom Watchman. And in second, drum roll, who do we think it is? Francis Ansgar. Ansgar ends up in second, and Francis remains on top. and retains his lead for the overall series. They're coming in, making their way in for the overall. So today's class dominated by the women, but the overall dominated by the boys. So they're making their way in. There we go. So Tom Watchman in third, Ansgar Holters Jr. in second. And our series winner is going to be Francis Derwin.
I'm curious if anyone could have actually caught Frano, or if Onsky could have.
Yeah,
Because
that's a
I
good
know that
question,
even if he had won, I'm not sure that he would have had enough points to. Well, it just depended on
Maybe
what
if
Frano ended up to.
Yeah. But there you can see they're getting their prizes. And in front of BrainJuice. And of course, BrainJuice U25 series winner will receive a customized Cake Maca electric motorbike and that free flight for one horse to travel to Europe to compete at shows this summer. There's our winners, everybody. Tom Watchman in third, Ansgar Holters Jr. in second. And the blue, and the winner of that cool electric motorbike and the free flight, Francis Derwin of Ireland. Congratulations to the boys today for the overall series. That means consistency across the entire season here for the 2024 Winter Equestrian Festival. And there's that beautiful electric bike.
Are they going to make him ride it?
I hope so.
I hope they do.
I can take a picture on it.
That looks like a handy kind of bike, I will say.
Yeah.
That could
looks
go,
like it
even,
could
that
go
could go on the
very
beach.
fast.
It looks like it could almost go on the beach with those tires. So, it seems very fitting. You get the horse over to Europe, you bring your bike, and since you're in Europe and everybody bikes in Europe, you're all set up and ready to go. BrainJuice, you guys are very clever for your gift giving, the prizes. And there, of course, our winner, Francis Derwin. And it is a nice way to end week 10 here. Of course, remember, week 11 coming up, starting on Wednesday. And lots more jumping action coming across the rest of the season. 2 more weeks to go, nearing the finale. However, 2 big weeks of show jumping. And of course, concluding with that $500,000 Rolex Grand Prix 2 weeks from yesterday. All right, well, congratulations to our winner. And perhaps because they are under the age of 21, there's no champagne.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would wish that, but
Yeah.
no champagne for the boys. Well, ladies, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today here in the booth. And Ashley Vogel, Donovan Ross, thanks again. And hopefully we'll see you guys out there in a couple days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks again. And here's some highlights from today's class. We're going to sign out for the day. And, of course, this was the $50,000 BrainJuice U25 Series Finale Grand Prix. I'm Danny Waldman, and I'll catch you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone.